Good day, this is Shauna Casey, and welcome to this SOS Solutions webcast, SOS Stock Plan Outsourcing. Since this webcast deals with SOS services and products, no continuing education is available for attending. Due to the large number of attendees, no conference call service is available for this webcast. The sound will broadcast through your computer speakers. However, if you wish to ask a question at any time during the presentation, please feel free to type it into the questions and answers panel of your GoToWebcast console, and we will do our best to answer them as they come in. Any questions that we don't get a chance to address during the webcast, we will follow up with afterwards in an email. This morning we sent an email with a link to the presentation materials to everyone that registered as of 10 a.m. Pacific this morning. You can also find the link to the materials under the Event Resources tab on your GoToWebcast console. This session will also be recorded, and we will send a link to the recording of materials in the next day or two. I hope that all of you are familiar with Stock and Option Solutions, or SOS as we are more commonly known. For those of you who are not, SOS is a leading stock administration, staffing, consulting, and outsourcing firm within the equity compensation marketplace. SOS provides interim and permanent placement, expert project resources, and total outsourcing solutions. To learn more, you can visit us online at www.sos-team.com or call us at 408-979-8700. Next, I'd like to introduce you to our speakers for today's session. We are pleased to have Scott McDonald and Midori Playford on the panel today. Scott joined SOS in 2003 and is the Director of Sales and Marketing, and he is responsible for the strategic leadership of the sales and marketing departments. Scott works alongside his team to develop and maintain the needed sales and marketing infrastructure to support both its current and future operations, and to ensure an ever-expanding and increasingly satisfied client base. Midori began her financial services career in 1999 at E-Trade. While there, she obtained her broker's licenses, was a founding member, then became the supervisor of the Customer Service Quality Assurance team. In 2004, Midori transferred to outsourcing, where she began her career in stock administration. Earlier this year, Midori became the manager of the Campbell Outsourcing team here at SOS. Midori has degrees in business and human resources as well as a master's degree in management. She enjoys public speaking and has presented at various conferences and meetings, including NASPP, E-Trade Directions, and the CEP Symposium. Next is our standard disclaimer slide. We'd like to remind you to consult your own advisors before making any changes. As I mentioned, the materials are available on our website, and here again is the link. Thank you all for joining us today, and with that, I'll turn this presentation over to Scott, who will introduce our topic and cover the agenda. Thank you.
Welcome, everybody, and thank you for joining us. The agenda today is simple. We want to talk more to you about what makes SOS outsourcing true outsourcing. And really, we need to start out with a question of why. Why did SOS develop an outsourcing solution for this marketplace? According to the NAP, 50% of companies with fewer than 750 participants do not have someone dedicated to stock plan administration. What that means is they don't have an expert in place to manage their stock programs. Managing equity compensation is hard. There's a lot of reasons for that. Companies with internal stock plan management or managers or a team of people managing the stock plan need to have a lot of different types of expertise to manage those programs effectively. They need to not only understand equity compensation, but how legal, HR, accounting, payroll, tax, international, even communications play into managing a stock plan effectively. That's a lot of skills to have under one roof, especially for a company that's essentially crowdsourcing the administration of their stock programs by sharing responsibilities among various people within the company. Further, don't forget, you need to do a lot of other things to manage a stock program effectively. A lot of things will happen. You need to manage special stock plan related projects. Companies go through mergers and acquisitions, option exchanges. They have special accounting considerations. They change vendors. They put new systems in place. They also need to develop and maintain a system of effective controls, processes, and procedures. They need to promote the equity programs. Companies invest a lot of time and energy, and especially money, into an equity compensation program. But a lot of companies don't communicate around those programs effectively, thereby decreasing really the effective ROI of those programs. So without effective communications, which is something SOS stresses, you really lack the bang for the buck you hope to get from an equity compensation program. Finally, people surrounding the stock plan need to stay current on regulatory and industry changes affecting equity compensation. Yet, stock plans are the hot potato passed around the company. That's the joke we always make around here is no one really wants to handle the stock plans at a company, so it bounces from legal to HR to finance, back to HR, to accounting. What ends up effectively happening is many different people play a role in managing a company's stock program, none of them being experts in equity compensation. Or they choose to outsource, thinking that the hot potato will be in somebody else's hands now. But outsourcing has never lived up to its name, and that's something we tell our clients again and again. When you outsource, what you get is effectively a database manager. You get some employee communication. You get system updates. What you end up doing, though, is managing their team. A big thing about outsourcing, traditional outsourcing and the way that the industry has used it is, you are really in charge of making sure that no garbage goes into their system and no garbage comes out of their system. They're effectively taking whatever data you give them, putting it into their system, the transactions, the terminations, the different things that go into managing a stock program. But you're in charge of making sure all that data is accurate coming in and going out, really the audit and reviewers. You're also left with Section 16 and proxy reporting, financial reporting. All those systems can handle it, but again, it's up to you to make sure that all that is done accurately and effectively, especially the Section 16, the forms filing, and the proxy reporting. It works great for some, large companies especially. They really see the benefits of the economy as a scale. They're able to trade out some of their routine processing and certain functions related to stock plan administration. But probably not going to work for you if you're a smaller company. And to tell you the truth, a lot of the outsourcing providers may not want to work with you either. They have certain criteria and things they're looking to do, looking for from their partners, if you will, and you may not just fit into that box. That brings us to what SOS can do for you, true outsourcing from SOS. We really come in from the client perspective, the client side management of your stock plan responsibilities. We always say to our prospective clients that when you think about us, think about how you create a job requisition for the role. All the responsibilities and tasks and things that you expect of an internal stock administrator, all those things are things that SOS can handle. We offer full expensing solutions, comprehensive Section 16 and proxy services. We have experts here at SOS, subject matter expertise, who can handle all the special projects and requirements to give you a fully integrated client-side solution. The hot potato is in our hands now. A lot of the things we hear from our clients, what we built here, how we've tried to simulate, if you will, the internal role of a stock plan administrator in an outsourcing provider, we're very proactive. We're going to develop processes and procedures, well-defined processes and procedures, checklists, and responsibilities, ensuring compliance, which is really, from what we hear from our clients, really the most important driver in making the decision to outsource. They want to make sure that they're in compliance with the rules and ever-changing rules and regulations. We have experts, and you're going to gain knowledge to 50 of the best minds in the business, but not only that, the subject matter expertise under the SOS roof. We also have a network of partners and experts outside of the SOS office who we often go to and rely on for opinions and advice with respect to issues and challenges our clients are facing. We're extremely communicative, and that goes with being proactive. We're going to work with you to develop a proactive framework for dealing with the daily, monthly, annual responsibilities around your stock plans. No stock plan team is on an island. If you hired someone in-house, they wouldn't be on an island. We need to be constantly working with the people at your organization, the payroll people, the finance people, the accounting people, the HR people, to make sure everyone's on the same page with respect to how we're managing your program, how we're communicating with your participants, how we're troubleshooting and dealing with challenges around your stock program, and where we're going in the future. At the end of the day, what you get from SOS is full-time administration and management at a part-time cost, and that's something our clients, especially our clients with, say, fewer than 1,000 participants, really appreciate, that access to expertise at a reasonable cost. I'm going to turn it over to Midori to talk a little bit more about what we do for our clients.
So I manage the Campbell Outsourcing team. So what do we do for our clients on a day-to-day basis? Well, we provide the specialized expertise, the subject matter experts you need, and services of a full-time stock administrator, but at a much lower cost. Also, we have the staff on hand to provide full-time service without the worry of who's going to cover if your stock person goes on vacation or is otherwise out of the office. We always have someone here, and we always have someone that is familiar with you and can answer your questions and help you all of the time. And we have flexibility. We can adapt to your processes and reporting styles to fit in with your company culture. So we're flexible, we're adaptable, and so we make ourselves fit you rather than trying to fit you into our model. And then, as Scott mentioned, we have experts in every area of equity compensation. If something comes up that we're not familiar with, all we have to do is pick up the phone, and we'll have someone that is an expert on that particular subject on the line and assisting. So, you know, we've got that available for you to always be able to assist you. So core administration. So the core administration is your daily stock administration function. When you come on board as an outsourcing client, you'll be assigned a dedicated account manager. And that account manager is going to get to know you, is going to be working with you daily, and basically going to be a part of your team. And your account manager is going to be responsible for all those day-to-day things that happen in the world of stock administration. So it could be transactions such as releases or exercises. They're your liaison between your brokers, your transfer agents, your legal department. They can answer participant questions or help with participant issues, provide reporting on a regular basis, put new grants in the system, process terminations. These are just a few of the things. Set up online ESPP enrollment, manage your ESPP enrollment, do your purchases. Pretty much anything day-to-day stock administration related, your account manager is there for you and can handle it, and will handle it for you. But we also have the ability to take on some of the more complex and not necessarily day-to-day types of functions. We can do your Section 16 reporting for you. We've got the skills and the knowledge and the abilities to make sure your forms are filed, complete, and they're accurate, and they're filed on time. Need help with your proxy statement, want someone to run all the reports and start building your equity compensation tables within the proxy. We can handle that for you. We'll track your Section 16 reporting persons, all of their holdings, so that at any point in time we can tell you exactly what their holdings are. We also have financial reporting and accounting available. Once we get to know you, and if we realize that you would benefit from this and could need this, we certainly have it available to offer it to you. So we can do your valuations for your options, your performance award accounting, especially the market-based performance awards that require Monte Carlo. Those types of things can be very complex and very difficult to manage at times. We can run your expense reports for you. do a forfeiture rate analysis to make sure you're using the right forfeiture rate. Do you have something coming up with modification accounting? Do you need assistance with that? If you've got a 24-month ESPP with a roll forward and a reset and a look back, chances are if it ever resets, you're going to throw yourself into modification accounting. We can help you with that. Do you need help writing the footnote disclosures for your proxies? We can help you with that. ESPP accounting. So any of those areas and others that I'm sure I'm not listing that have to do with financial reporting and accounting, if you need assistance with that or if you just want us to do it for you, we're here and can assist with that. So implementation. Well, so what happens? You decide you want to be an outsourcing client. What's the next step? Well, the next step is that you go through implementation. And to me, implementation is, this is when we really get to know each other, when we really get to develop a relationship and, become an actual team together. You are assigned a dedicated implementation manager, and this is someone who's going to work very closely with you for the first month or 6 weeks as you go through the implementation process. And this person is going to get to know you and your company and your processes and your procedures and your culture, and they're going to document everything. So we want to find out what you do, when you do it, how you do it, why you do it, and so that we can do it. At the same time, though, as we're going through and doing this, we may occasionally say, well, are you familiar with the best practice for this particular item? And we may at that time make some suggestions for best practices. At the end of the day, we want to provide you ultra high quality stock administration support using best practices, using technology, and creating an atmosphere of very low risk and very high quality. So that's what's going to happen during implementation is we're going to get the ball rolling on all of this. You're going to learn about us. We're going to learn about you, and really solidify our relationship with you. So a little bit about our account managers. In outsourcing, we have both account managers and we have administrators. Your account manager is assigned to you. That's the person that you're going to pick up the phone and call or email if you have a question, if you have an issue, if you need help with something. And what we do is you're going through implementation and we're getting to know you and we're getting to know your company and your culture. We start looking at our account managers and we say, okay, who's a good match for you? Who's going to fit in with your culture, someone that you're going to feel very comfortable with, that you're going to want to develop a strong relationship with and work with. And so we try very, very hard to match you to an account manager whose personality and skills and knowledge and work habits and methods fit within your culture so that you feel like you've been working with them forever. Also, we make sure that our account managers have the knowledge, we have the skills and the abilities to take care of anything that you could throw at them. We have, continuous training. We're always doing additional training, whether it's online training for them or we bring them in and do classroom-style training. We stay on top of everything stock administration related. So if something new comes down the pipeline, we're on it, and we're making sure that everyone is trained in whatever that new or different procedure or regulation or rule is. Also, our account managers have access to all of our experts, both internal and external. So if an unusual situation does arise, they've got that access to bring on those experts that can help you. Then we have our administrators on the team. These are folks that are going to absolutely, they're going to know your database inside and out. They'll be doing some of the data entry into your database, and they're going to know exactly what information should be in there, how it should be in there to keep your database 100% clean and accurate and the way it should be. So they're really going to get to know your database. Now, your account manager will also know your database. Don't think they won't. They will. But what this does is it sets up a two-person team to make sure that anything that is done in your database has both the person that entered the information and audits it, and then a second set of eyes to audit it. So you'll have your team administrator may be putting the grants in the database or processing the exercise, but then your account manager is going to go right behind them and audit that to make sure that everything is 100% accurate and complete. And we have specialists available to you. So if you are going to decide to go through a split or acquire another company, maybe you want to change service providers. Maybe your platform isn't working for you and you want to go to a different platform. We have our professional services team that can help you with that, and just jump in and provide whatever assistance that you need. So you can just really sit back and relax and be confident that we've got the knowledge, we've got the skills, and we've got the abilities to handle anything that you can throw at us. So Scott, you want to talk about more true outsourcing with SOS?
Yeah, absolutely. A big question we get through the sales process is what makes us different? And we covered a little bit of that, but I really wanted to dive into something we think about a lot is how are we different? And the first thing I think is really our expertise. The Santa Clara University right up the road runs the Certified Equity Professional Institute. Really the gold standard, the CPA, the CFA designation for our industry, equity professionals. And we have 26 Certified Equity Professionals, CEPs on our staff, and really that's out of about 50 people on our team that run or help manage equity compensation programs. So that's an incredible ratio of Certified Equity Professionals. And really the rest are working towards that, either at level 1 or level 2 of their CEP designation. That's something we foster and encourage around here. At SOS, we're really proud of how long we've been in this business, since 1999, 17 years in stock plan administration. And, we work with over 1,000 clients, not all through our outsourcing, but bigger isn't always better, but we really believe that's a huge benefit to our clients because of everything we've seen. Every new client we take on, every new challenge we see is an opportunity for us to learn and grow our knowledge, to evolve our understanding of what the best practices around managing the stock program. We're really at the forefront of a lot of the changes and evolution in our industry, and help drive and also absorb a lot of the best ways to handle a lot of those changes. A big thing we always stress to our clients as well is administration, stock plan management. This is our only business. This is our bread and butter, our meal card. We're not. This is not a loss leader for us. We're not deriving brokerage revenues or system revenues. If we don't knock the administration of a client stock plan out of the park, we're out of business. This is all we do and all we strive to do well. Midori's touched on, we're always going to just pound on the fact that we have all types of real deep subject matter expertise under our roof. I mean, one of the huge challenges we see again and again is around the accounting. And Midori outlined some of the ways we work with our clients through our financial reporting and accounting team. But again, we've seen it all. We understand the accounting inside and out. Section 16, another huge benefit of working with SOS. We do and handle forms filing and Section 16 compliance for most of our clients and been doing that from the beginning. That's something we really understand and do well. The best practices, I mentioned again the 1,000 clients, constantly looking at how we're operating and striving to be more efficient and automated, ultimately more accurate for our clients. Communications, I'm going to touch on that point again. I drove on that from the beginning, but that's not only kind of the ad hoc communications, how we're able to answer your participants' questions, your executives' questions, your management's questions with respect to compliance and issues surrounding equity compensation, but also more formal communications. That's something we really work to partner with our clients to develop, which is better education, FAQs, all the things that go into helping your participants better understand the equity compensation you're paying for and investing in. Finally, really the systems and technology, not only do we have expertise? And this is something I should touch on. We work with all of the systems out there and really understand all the systems out there. So we're not going to point you in one direction or the other. SOS is not a software company. Our backbone is not providing the systems. It's really using systems you're probably already comfortable with and having the expertise, probably a lot more expertise than you're going to find in your own, under your own roof. But we also have developed a lot of custom technology. So we bring to bear a lot of custom technology for our outsourcing clients and beyond that, all the clients in our universe. A good example of that is the ESPP accounting tool we've developed. None of the systems out there really adequately handle ESPP accounting. So if you work with SOS on the expensing side, you have an ESPP program, for instance, you don't get the benefit of being able to leverage this custom-developed tool we use to manage the ESPP accounting, especially for more complex programs we see out there. Finally, SOS is the industry beacon, and we really like to think of ourselves as a little bit like a university. We constantly are looking to put our people out there, not only at NASP and the other local NASP chapters, to help them develop and further their knowledge and deliver presentations and expertise to the industry. But we also do a lot of internal, or I shouldn't say internal, they are a public webcast. We have an industry-leading newsletter with a lot of great expertise delivered through that. And this is all a way not only to kind of give back to the equity compensation community, but again, we're looking at this as research and development in terms of understanding a lot of the specific challenges that the equity comp world is interested in, and we really encourage our people to go out there and further develop their knowledge. The next pillar of our differentiating factors is our quality, driven by consistent, best practice-driven processes. So we have put a lot of time and energy and investment into the implementation process that Midori covered. And really, I like to call that the integration process. What we're doing through that process is developing a thorough understanding of your stock programs, the nuances and challenges. There's a lot of history built into why you're doing certain things around your stock programs that we want to integrate into the processes and checklists we develop, and ultimately make our processes your processes and how we're going to work together. We do thorough audits and built-in redundancies as well. The two-person team Midori touched on, I think we're even deeper than that. I think we hear that a lot from our clients. They're working with independent consultants or small outsourcing firms, and someone goes out sick. It's like having a single-person shop in-house where they go out sick or leave you. You're left in a lurch. And with SOS, you have that two-person team, but also because of the well-developed processes, everything we develop, I mean, we have a pretty deep team here, and people, even if those two people were to win the lottery and quit that day, we have a pretty deep team here that can jump in. A lot of what we touch on as well, I wanted to, the SOS knowledge base. This is hugely critical and something a lot of the outside world maybe doesn't understand or know about. I like to talk about that again through the sales process, but love to share it with you. And that knowledge base allows us really internally to tap into. We talked about on the expertise side the number of certified equity professionals here, the amount of clients we work with. Everyone here brings a tremendous amount of expertise and experience to SOS. And the SOS knowledge base is a technology tool we developed to tap into that. So when our outsourcing team or anyone on the SOS team runs into a specific challenge, our call to them is always, look, if you're not 100% certain on the answer, you're going to run into things periodically, frequently, that you may have never seen before, international issues or accounting issues, those types of things. And the answer is we have the answer here. Someone here has dealt with that. We have 50 people here, all with a tremendous breadth of experience. So use that knowledge base. Put the question into the knowledge base. Someone here is going to get you to 100% certainty around the issue you're facing. So we don't accept 95% certainty from our people, especially with tools like the knowledge base or really kind of the informal networks we have here. The answer is here under our roof. And finally, we have a deliberate focus on improving client stock plan-related operations and communications. I mean, really that makes us a better business, that helps us operate better with our clients, and always looking at not only building a better way of doing things with our clients, but also we work with a lot of the vendors out there, the software systems, the outsource vendors, on improving the way their systems are running so everyone's life can be easier. And finally, flexibility. You don't need to fit into our box. We will fit into yours. I talked about the tremendous variability in terms of the clients we take on and the challenges we see. And a lot of the unique circumstances are driven by unique internal requirements, whether they're organizational or structural or plan-related, language and those types of things. A lot of people inherited a lot of challenges, and we do our best to take you as you are. Of course, we bring our best practice-driven processes, and we're going to try to incorporate that and integrate that into your company, but we're also going to allow for again, the tremendous variability we see. We're not here to tell you that you have to make certain changes. We're going to find a happy marriage between the way you need to do things and the way we need to do things. We work with all companies, public or private. 2 participants or 2,000, 20,000. All plan types. So we've seen everything out there and deal with the RSUs and RSAs, the options, the performance shares, ESPP programs, simple and complex. Really everything imaginable. We've just about seen it all. Another thing I'd like to mention is in terms of seeing it all, and I touched on this a lot, why are we different from a lot of outsourcers out there? Actually, in terms of systems we deal with are a lot of companies who are already outsourced, if you will, the brokerages, also outsourced us because, as I said, we sit on your side of the table and handle the client-side responsibility. So a lot of our clients are already outsourced. And I've already talked a lot about mirroring your job description. Really, that's how I like to let people think about us, what we're going to do. What would you ask your stock plan administrator to do? What have you asked them to do in the past? How would you build a job description? Most, if not all of that, are things we're going to be able to handle for you. Again, full-time administration at a part-time cost. I want to talk finally about our pricing model. We did a lot of market research. When we were developing outsourcing, we did a lot of market research, and a key consideration for our clients was they wanted to understand the annual cost of outsourcing, if you will, the stock plan function. And SOS had traditionally been an hourly type company. We've done a lot of consulting by the hour, but we recognize that to be successful in this space, we need to give our clients certainty, some degree of certainty around the cost of outsourcing. So we developed a fixed fee annual pricing model. And that pricing model includes some of the following features. This is a 3-year contract we ask from our clients. And why we do that, implementation, as Midori covered, is a really time-intensive investment, if you will. We're really looking for a long-term partnership with our clients, so we want to keep that implementation cost low. But at the same time, there's a lot of work to be done up front. And you're really going to see the benefit of that in year 1, but really we all see the benefit in year 2 and 3 as we really start to work together and hit our stride. We want to make sure that relationship lasts. So we look for a 3-year contract from our clients. We base our pricing, our fixed fee pricing model on a few different factors. We're really looking at the start, we're looking at the number of participants. I know our clients look at the cost of outsourcing from a lot of them look at it from a per participant perspective. And really, the bigger you are, the more challenges we're probably going to face and more time it's going to take. So we're basing a lot of our pricing on the number of participants. But we're also looking at plan features and complexity and the levels of service. So Midori touched on really kind of the 3 basic levels of service that we offer. The day-to-day administration, the legal / Section 16 / proxy side, and then the financial reporting and accounting side. So we're going to factor all that in and come up with a fixed fee pricing model that makes sense to you. Now, the one thing I'll mention here, something we always stress to our clients is when we're building that pricing model, we're building it based on things we can anticipate, all your normal operations, whether it has to do with the day-to-day, the legal, or the accounting side. The special projects That's something we continue to handle on an hourly basis. So those are things we can't anticipate. You buying a company or putting in a new program and asking us to integrate or implement that. All those types of things, you're going to work with your relationship manager on a special project statement of work that we're going to handle separately. But we're going to bring in, again, our subject matter experts. Finally, I encourage you to give us a call. Our phone number is area code 408-979-8700, and you can also reach us at sales@sos-team.com. We can have a 15-minute conversation with you to really go through some of the areas we need to understand and deliver you a proposal of services that we can build from and ultimately, hopefully, work together. So please give us a call again, and you'll have the contact information on our next screen. I'll turn it back over to Shauna for some closing remarks and other things she wants to cover.
Great. Thank you, Scott. I'd like to thank you and Midori for joining us today, and thank all of you for attending today's Solutions webcast. Please do look for an email in the next couple of days with the link to the recording and materials. Thank you so much, and have a great day. Bye-bye.